He the only one.
Oh shit! They killed him.
I hope not.
Oh, that's it.
Oh hell no.
Oh. So we just wrapped up our reaction to Pariah Nexus episode 3. No happy ending here.
No.
What did you think? All right, first we're going to talk about the episode, our thoughts about the episode, and then we'll go ahead and discuss our overall thoughts of the series in total.
Okay, so the sister, come to find out, she was hallucinating about her sister in battle the whole time because she was guilty.
Yeah,
she felt so guilty that she was blaming other people for them losing the war.
Yeah.
Because when we seen her, she was calling them like all kinds of names, faithless, and they don't deserve to be alive.
You could tell something was really wrong. She was deeply troubled.
I was like, damn,
something.
she a bitch.
Right, yeah.
But now I see, you know, the guilt really got the best of her.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
You know, and so for her to take it out on the innocent people, and the salamander had to, you know, prevent her from shooting them, I was like, yeah, she's a little off. But when the soldier, she disappeared, I was like, into thin air. I was like, oh,
something was wrong.
Officially, you know, something's not right. And so then when she turned on the priest, I was like, he still had faith. And I was like, everything she's saying is the opposite. That's must be what she's feeling about herself.
Right.
And so she was deflecting the whole time. And when people do that, it's like, oh, I see what's going on. You having a guilt trip, but you just can't take accountability for it.
And I love how they have like the religious parallels in here, because I know that, you know, you grew up in the church and everything, but they were saying a lot of things that was kind of like relevant to that for people who are like, you know, overzealous about, you know, religion and church and stuff.
Yeah, be like that sometimes. You know, you're so blinded by faith,
right?
That you can't see anything else,
right.
You know, and that you willing to kill innocent people and children, And I
thought that was an interesting contrast in personalities between the Sister of Battle and then the Salamander, because from everything that we've heard about the Space Marines, and even when the Sister of Battle mentioned it, she was like, "Are you really one of the Emperor's angels of death?" Because he was pretty nice compared to what we've learned about the Space Marines or even the world that they exist in. Because he was trying to help the young and the innocent and get them to safety.
That's what he was there for.
And that's right. Yeah, exactly. He said, you know, he was here to help. And so it was very interesting to see how those kind of personalities were different, but then they also clashed as well. But the Necron, this guy, he was a badass.
Yeah, the aliens.
Right, aliens.
It was filth. It was
called
the humans filthy.
I love how arrogant he was, because he had like the demeanor and the attitude of someone who felt that as if they were far superior than humans, because every time he addressed them when he was monitoring them, both of the Necrons, they were like, "Oh, filth, dirty." And even when the Salamander was asking him a question, he was like, "I don't even need to answer it, you know, because you're so
Salamander.
beneath me."
Yeah,
right.
So apparently, you know, within this war, the Salamander was like, you had your chance.
Yeah, right.
You know, this planet is ours.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that he was referencing like the beginning of when they, you know, at the beginning of when the Necrons were formed, when they had their war and they lost and they went into hiding. Because they've been gone for a long time and now they've kind of been resurrected. And now the Necrons are like, we're going to take back over the universe.
Right, yeah. But I just couldn't help but thinking how the planet looked before all of this happened. It looked like it would have been like a beautiful, bright place. And
it's just been ravaged by war.
It's not too many people left. It was like the 4 people that the Salamander was saving, and he told them to go west and keep going west. And then when we seen at the end of the scene, the little boy was left, and you ask the question, is he still in his right mind? And what happened to the others? You know,
I think that scene, the last scene, really speaks volume to the world of 40K, and it just lets you know how dark and desolate it is
Yeah.
because before, right when that scene started, and there were bodies just sprawled out everywhere. You were like, oh my God, there's
Yeah.
bodies everywhere.
Everywhere.
And then for the simple fact that it wasn't a happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
The little boy,
Nobody made it.
Yeah, he was searching for safety.
Yeah.
Because this is what the salamander told him, even though it was a broken promise. In the end, he still ended up losing his life.
And I think the salamander told them that because maybe he knew other people were coming.
Yeah.
But in this case,
he wanted them to have hope.
Yeah.
He wanted, no matter how little it was.
Yeah, and he was like, you can't just tell children,
right,
that they're going to die.
Right, yeah, yeah, you're right. So, he kind of had a big heart.
Yeah, but everybody died.
Yeah, everybody died.
Damn.
And then, Salamander showed how badass he was because he was fighting with one arm. And I just think that it's really cool learning about 40K, learning about the world, the Space Marines, and all the factions, and then watching something like this, and you actually see it play out in the characters. They represent everything that we've heard so far. Like, nothing. I didn't feel like any of the characters were mismatched in any kind of way.
Okay.
But overall, what did you think about the whole series?
Yeah, I thought this was really good, very interesting. Kept me guessing, but also very unexpected.
Yeah, right. Right, yeah. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah.
They treat the viewers like smart. They didn't hold your hand in this miniseries.
But it ending like that, like, oh, did the kid die? Did he not die?
Oh, they made sure you heard the gunshot.
I mean, they kind of leave it up to us.
And there was no,
you never know.
There was no interpretation.
Just a little
bit of hope. It was
like,
yo, you heard the gunshot.
Just a little bit of hope.
Oh man, keep believing. Keep believing that the world is good. Yeah. But guys, leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you become a patron. That way you can have access to our full reaction of Pariah Nexus. Anyway, we'll see y'all next time. Take care. Peace.